Good evening. A nationwide Telstra meltdown has left millions in limbo, crippling everything from mobile phones to digital payments and, in some states, rail networks.
Telstra admits it doesn't yet know the cause. The chaos unfolding while the company's boss is on holidays.
To a halt, arteries of the nation sit empty. Rail services down in Victoria, New South Wales, the ACT, national freight paused. Tens of thousands of businesses losing EFTPOS.
Very frustrating.
EFTPOS down for a while?
Yep, for us and the customers.
Many going old school with bank transfers or cash.
Some people actually didn't have any internet, so they couldn't do the bank transfers.
So we do have a problem with Telstra, and I'm using my hotspot here.
Issues with Telstra began emerging early this morning, signalling headaches for commuters.
I mean, it's frustrating, but what can you do?
I tell my manager I have to go to Telstra.
And those already at work.
I had difficulties contacting my clients to be able to do my deliveries.
We can't do anything until the outage stops.
Australia's largest telco, often the emergency network, intermittently blacking out for hours.
000 calls follow a different settings in our network, and therefore they were not impacted in the same way.
But they were impacted.
I had a couple of failed calls this morning because obviously I needed to know if 000 was working.
Late this afternoon, it was revealed more than 300 calls didn't go through. Police now going door to door to check on the 79 callers who Telstra couldn't reach.
The volume of these welfare checks was higher than we expected.
One Nation had raised the prospect of an attack by China.
I don't want to be sort of, conspiracy theorist, startle. But I do think a diligent process is to make sure that this is, there's nothing malevolent in this.
When it comes to matters of national security, you shouldn't make stuff up.
Barnaby's theory shut down by the Home Affairs Office. Telstra blaming broken timers inside 2 data centres in Sydney and Melbourne, upending lives and services across Australia.
But we are confident we have identified a software defect. We've been able to isolate it.
Telstra is yet to say if it'll offer compensation for the blackout, but coming off the back of last year's deadly Optus outage, the communication giant is now facing similar fines in the tens of millions of dollars.
Telstra's CEO is on leave, the communications minister calling hers off. Tonight, the network has largely returned to business as usual for a business many won't want to let off the hook. Jacqueline Robson, 7 News.
To Jacqueline Robson now in Canberra. Jackie, a probe has been launched into the outage.
Well, Sarah, between coverage and rail service meltdowns, the outage was something of a disaster from the get-go for Telstra. But now that's escalated dramatically. The seriousness of this outage now reflected in the fact that police have had to take control, dispatching officers across the country to find as many as 79 people who were cut off from 000 and fell off the grid. Telstra today admitting they don't know whether any of those people require medical care. They're even warning about scammers pretending to be Telstra to try and rip people off.
Thank you, Jackie. Some of those welfare checks are taking place in Queensland. Jade Richards joins us in the studio. Jade, what more do we know about this?
Sarah, there were about 17 000 phone calls from regional Queensland that failed. PoliceLink was able to transfer some of them to ambulance or the fire service if needed, and the rest are being followed up with welfare checks. At this stage, authorities don't believe it's led to any serious issues or harm. The State Health Emergency Command Centre was also stood up this morning to manage any impacts on hospitals and patients, but there have been no cancellations to planned surgeries, and emergency departments remained open throughout the day. There were no interruptions to rail services here either, so at this stage it seems Queensland was spared from some of the serious disruptions other states faced. Sarah and Max.
Thank you for that, Jade.
Time for the decider. In just 2 hours, the Maroons will take to the turf on one mission, Origin victory, making 5 million Queenslanders proud. It'll all unfold in front of a pumped, sold-out crowd at Suncorp Stadium. And Liam Bland is at the team hotel. Liam, Billy Slater's squad is on the way.
Max, they've just departed the W Hotel here at North Quay in the past few minutes, bound for Queensland's home of rugby league. The players were met with friends, family and fans, they were given a guard of honour as they boarded that team bus just a short time ago. A special guest in attendance tonight too, Jai Arrow, will tag along with Billy Slater's squad, making the trip to Milton as well. It's about 2 hours until kick-off at the Cauldron. There we'll find out what plan has been hatched to bury the Blues at a venue where the hosts have struggled over the past few seasons. Game 3 sure to have it all. Guts, glory, and hopefully by the end of the night, another famous Queensland win.
Now to Mel Whiteman at Caxton Street. Mel, there are plenty of fans there with you.
Yeah, they are. The Queensland spirit is strong and loud here at Caxton Street tonight. And despite a huge crowd building here all day, the road has actually only just been closed off in the last few minutes, making way for tens of thousands of fans to head down to Suncorp. While some are brave enough to wear blue here, this is Maroons territory. They are so proud. The energy is so high, head to toe in maroon, and they're confident that we're on home soil. We will be able to take home a State of Origin win. Our fans, as you can tell, have been up bright and early, getting behind Queensland right across the state, guys. There are few walks as iconic, atmospheres as electric. How's it feel to be on Caxton Street? Or stages as big.
No, it's a decider, of course.
Origin seems to conjure a state's sleeping spirit. The word decider takes that passion to a whole new level.
I'm not sure. Who am I going for tonight? Who am I going for? Queensland!
Pubs packed.
You can't get this anywhere else.
52,000 ready for a Suncorp showdown. Joining the diehards,
Queenslander!
Dean Clifford and his family. He hasn't missed Origin at Suncorp since 1999.
As long as I can been alive, I can remember cheering on Queensland.
But some of the loudest cheers tonight will be from Amy and Pila, proud parents of Jojo Fafita.
I think we're more nervous than Jojo.
Little Lennox packing up the car to watch the biggest game of his brother's life.
Queensland!
He was up early, a team walk and warm up in the city, giving fans hoping for a glimpse, gold.
That's everything. Yeah, those guys were awesome.
Even a New South Welshman from Newcastle knows who to back.
How pumped are you?
That level.
Some are showing their true colours.
Two heads, mate. What do you expect from those people, mate? They're a different breed.
Blues trying to infiltrate enemy lines.
Queensland!
But they're going to need more than a few billboards to break through the crowd of Queenslanders. Do you feel outnumbered?
A little bit.
The fan base bringing in some unlikely reinforcements. Cows in Carrara, a giant cane toad in Serena.
We've had to remove a bit of blue. Got the official orders to be discreet and put it in the bin.
On a night where spare seats are scarce, two radio hosts raced from Maroochydore to Suncorp, 115 k's on foot. The prize, one ticket.
We're idiots. It's so much harder than you think.
Getting to the game doesn't get much better than this. Decked out in Queensland colours, destination Suncorp. A trip on the Maroon glider is guaranteed to get fans revved up for the clash.